All right, let's do this. Yeehaw! Hey, welcome everyone.
Go Fever Radio, it's our time to shine. Gather round friends, let's all align.
Heading for dreams in this golden rush. Tune in, feel that excitement, let's all hush.
Hey, 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 it's all about the gold.
Stories of treasure waiting to be told. At Gold Fever Radio, dreams come alive. Finding that fortune, we're here to fly. With laughter and stories, we're never alone. Tune in every Wednesday, make this place your home.
And metal detectors, people searching the ground. In the hills and valleys, treasures can't be found. Staking our claims, we're daring and bold. Living for the thrill that this adventure unfolds. Hey, hey, the thrills in the hunt.
Join our journey, take the front. Oh, at Gold Fever Radio, dreams come alive. Finding that fortune, we're here to thrive. With laughter and stories, we're never alone. Tune in every week.
All right, that's enough of that.
Okay, so here we are.
Here we are. Welcome everybody.
We're really here.
We are here. Let me get into the comments. There's our what do you call him? A co-host?
Yes.
Robert Porch, a
Hello,
co-host.
Robert.
Robert, do you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay, there he is.
Go up to the top.
Okay, so let me get up to the comments here. Who's in here? Paul and Josh.
Scott,
Scott.
Woodward, Steve Collier, Mark from Salone, Lisa Fritsch, Wayne Peterson, Julianne Berry, Lottie Dow Farm, Clay, the Shtick with Rick, and Dallas
That's
Wright.
right. Okay. Welcome everybody. It is Wednesday. It is
August 5th.
August 5th, 2026.
Yes, and Craig Elliott. Hello, Craig.
Craig Elliott. Hello. Haven't seen Craig in a while. Hello.
Uh,
And Scott Norland. There he is. Scott made it in. Buck
And Buck
Rackley.
Rackley.
Okay. So last week we had a glitch.
and Lee King.
Lee Kane?
Yep.
All right. So last week was we were in Vegas.
Because it was my birthday.
Was your birthday, and when I went to get on the thing and I didn't have a password, and the password of course was home, so couldn't get on. So I went on live on Facebook just for about 5 minutes or 5 seconds while we were eating. Anyways, so we got a guest tonight. Guess who our guest is?
Who is our guest?
Oh, yeah, talking to you, boy. Guess who our guest is?
I guess RPAZ Treasures.
Who?
RPAZ Treasures.
No, who's our guest?
Oh, Terry Carter.
There we go. Hey, all right. The one and the only, the infamous.
Oh, I
So-
didn't know.
You remember Terry? You met Terry at last year
Yes, sir.
at the Dutch Hunters Rendezvous.
I've been wanting one.
Well, let's bring him in right now. There he is. Ta-da!
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's happening, Terry?
Hey, that just a lot of stuff is going on. A lot of stuff's going on.
You know what? You're blowing up Facebook. That's all I know. You have so much stuff going on, and I don't know how you find time for everything. I mean, a wife and your anniversary and all the stuff you're posting and working a full-time job, but I tell you what, you have blown up the internet with so much information and so much stuff going on with this Moon Lake stuff. That's what you got to tell me about. Let's talk about some Moon Lake stuff. But first, maybe you ought to introduce yourself to everybody, just in case they don't know who the one and only you are.
Hey, I'm Terry Carter. I'm a nobody, but you know what? My claim to fame is I know a lot of great people, and Jack, you're one of them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, that's what I say. That's my line. You're humble. You're very humble.
Oh, let me see. We got more people. Sports.
Hey, I seen you
2D.
had Nugget Brain Wayne Peterson in the house.
Yeah.
He is.
So it's Jason on his wife's account. Jason Fritz.
Oh, Jason. Oh, Jason
Yeah.
Fritz.
And
Jason Fritz is here. Jason was at.
Ah,
Yeah, he was at the Utah last year in the Dutch
yes.
Hunter.
Jason, you coming this year?
I heard he was.
We'll
Yeah.
find out.
AZ
I
Gold
think I told
Hunter.
him, Jason, that you wanted a table, so
What's happening? Why don't we hear Terry good?
Terry kind of freezes once in a while. He's in the. We hear
Am
you.
I
You're
froze
good.
Again?
No, you're good right
Okay.
now.
He'll be there.
Okay. Yeah. So Fritz will be there. So what's going on? What's going on? What's the dates and times and all that? What's happening with this big event here?
So the Moon Lake Gathering, man, the 2026 Moon Lake Gathering's on August 13th through the 15th on 2026 in Duchesne, Utah at the Event Center. You know, and what this is just our kind of way of giving back to the community. You know, it's just I'm a treasure hunter, but my partners and the other people that help put this on, they're Bigfoot, they're UFO. So we've teamed us all together, Bigfoot, UFO, treasure hunting. But a lot of where I do treasure hunting is out there in the Uinta Mountains, which is right in the heart of where Skinwalker Ranch is, where Blind Frog Ranch is, where UFO stuff is going on, where there's Bigfoot stuff's going on out there. I don't want anything to do with the UFOs and Bigfoot. I just want to stay of treasure. Them Bigfoot and UFOs, I think, could hurt you. So anyways, that's what it is. Starts Thursday night, August 13th. At 4 p.m. and it'll be just kind of a meet and greet, and then at 7 p.m. we're going to have open mic and show and tell and go until 9 or 10 o'clock, and then the real event starts Friday, where we'll have main speakers and breakout speakers, which, Jack, you're one of our breakout speakers. You're going to teach people how to prospect, how to search for gold, where to look for gold.
I heard that. Somebody said that I was going to do that.
I'm excited for everybody. I mean, you was there last year, the last couple of years, Jack, you've been there, but now they're going to get to hear you, you know, and so I'm excited about that, for people to really get to hear you and meet you.
Cool. Yeah, you did it. You did a fantastic. So this Moon Lake. So I remember the first time I came out. It was a few years ago where we did it outside. So how long have you been doing this thing?
So they have been doing it for 27 years. And finally they outgrew where they was at, and I'd go to their event, but they asked me if I'd help them when we moved it, you know, to first we moved it up to Moon Lake, and I froze on you again.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
We had it up to Moon Lake, and the Forest Service found out how many people were coming, and it blew us away how many people were coming. And they says, whoa, you can't have that many people up here, you know. So we had to hurry up and scramble and move it down to the city park in Altamont, and that was great, but it was outdoors, it was hot, and the Duchesne Event Center, some people came together and helped us out and got the Duchesne Event Center for us. And so, man, this is nice, indoors, climatized, big arena, big classrooms with media for the people to give their presentation. This is a nice event center.
Yeah. Okay, you're good still.
So I just keep on going.
Yeah.
Man, I don't want to steal the whole show here. So man, we just to kind of tell you here, we don't make a dime at this. This is free for everybody to come. However, we're going to have raffles and sell raffle tickets and everything that goes to pay for this. And if there's any money left over, that just goes to help pay for next year. You know, I got to pay my way there just the same as everybody else. I got to pay my food, my lodging, everything else just as everybody else, you know. But Noke to Metal Detectors is coming. I don't know if Noke to Metal Detectors, the company that had a big sponsored thing in Utah or not, but they're coming to the 2026 Moon Lake Gathering, and they're donating all kinds of metal detectors and stuffs for the raffles, and the raffles are going to be, the tickets are going to be a buck a piece. But but if you can't afford a raffle, just come. And if you go to the Nokta booth and just test out one of the detectors and that, they'll give you a raffle ticket for free. So we're not leaving anybody out, you know. So
Cool.
What else do I want to talk about? Friday night, Friday and Saturday, all day long is breakouts, main speakers. The speakers are coming in and giving their free time, and some of the main speakers we have, besides you, Jack, coming all the way from Arizona, but like we have Terry Delanis and Stephen Bluminger, and I don't know if you guys know about Victoria Peak, Doc Noss, Ova Noss, and all the gold bars of Victoria Peak. If you've seen the show Gold Lies and Videotapes, you know, they're coming to present their story, the family side of what happened, you know, when Ova Noss, when Doc Noss got killed, Ova Noss, you know, kept on trying to get back onto that property. The government came in, took it over. The government got most of the gold out, but, you know, a long time ago, Terry told me he thought there was still some there. So they're going to be telling the family story of what happened on Victoria Peak with all the Spanish gold bars and stuff. So it was there. So that's Jeffrey Lucas. How you doing?
How you doing?
Anyways, so Terry Delanis and Stephen Bluminger is our keynote speaker, our end speaker for Friday night. But before that, and I keep on forgetting because we just got so much going on. There's no way you can see it all. Just no way you can see it all. We have too much going on. You know, so we have a room for the treasure hunters. We have a room for the Bigfoot people. We have a room for the UFO people. So if you don't want to hear UFO stories, man, you don't have to. We got treasure hunting or Bigfoot. You know, you just pick what's your area, what you want to hear about, and you go check that out. So ask me questions or something, man.
Yeah,
I'm flailing here, Jack.
No, Lottie Daw
That's Clay.
or Clay said, what he said? He said I need a top hat.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, Abe.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Hey, Abe.
You didn't think I had one of them, did you?
So anyways, Nokta metal detectors, man, I'm excited that they're coming this year and gonna, you know, they're giving away a lot of stuffs for the raffles and whatnot to help us out, and some of the top people are coming in to teach people about metal detecting, you know, because not everybody, you know, you go to treasure hunting, most everybody knows how to do metal detecting, but when we were including Bigfoot and UFO people, they don't know anything about metal detecting. So, man, I think this is a great opportunity for them guys to learn all about metal detectors. So,
It'd be cool. Yes. Maybe I might learn something too.
Somebody, Dallas Wright says, tell you some inside secrets about Blind Frog Ranch. I can tell you some inside secrets about Blind Frog Ranch. My partner, June Bleich, he's passed away now. He was way older than me, but when he was younger, he befriended the older Indians. He was in his 20s. These Indians were in their 80s. They took him up and showed him things. They showed him where the sacred Ute Indian mine was, where some people think the Aztec treasure's in there, all that. June took me up there, and me and White Eagle up there to show us where Towatz was, and Towatz looks over the Kari Shanaab, the Ute Indian sacred mine that's supposed to be loaded with gold artifacts and stuff. Well, it was right there on Blind Frog Ranch, and we did some preliminary looking around, searching, and figured some areas where we thought it had to be, where there had to be some stuff at, and then we came back the next year. It snowed, so we came back the next year. The next year, it was all gated off, no trespassing and signs. And I hopped the fence and looked over, and I see, man, they dug the whole hillside. And this is clear back in 2008, I think. They dug the whole hillside. But they didn't dig where June said the Indians told them where it was. They didn't dig in that area at all. So there was a phone number, so I called that number, and it was a guy from Texas, and it was Dwayne. And so I called Dwayne and asked him I says, man, obviously you've hooked up because you're from Texas. You don't know about the treasure hunting here in the mountains, the Spanish gold bars and all that. Obviously you've hooked up with the Utah treasure hunting and you're looking for treasure. And he says, no, we dig this holes for other things. I can't remember what he told me, but he says, no, I haven't hooked up with any treasure hunters or anything. And yeah, we're not looking for treasure. And anyways, I was wanting to make a deal with him. But my partner June, he went in the hospital right shortly after that. He had to have his neck vertebrae fused together, and he walked in just fine. He came out paralyzed from the neck down. So I never ever did do anything with it. And Rocky Mountain Prospector, how are you? Anyways, we never did do anything with it, and I kept on hearing about this Blind Frog Ranch, and I had no clue where that was at. And then I seen one of the episodes, and they showed the mountainside, and I knew right exactly where it was at. It was right where June took me way back in 2008. And so I went out and I met with Dwayne Ollinger because I wanted to see what he was doing and what was happening. And he's telling me this crazy story. He starts telling me how he's drilling this hole, and all of a sudden they go through this blue clay, and then this light comes up, a blue light, and when a big whirlwind comes out, and it starts lightning, and this wind goes over this big ponderosa pine tree, and the pine tree's shaking back and forth. He thought it was going to rip that pine tree out of the ground, and then he says it hovered over that pine tree and then just sucked right back down on the ground and disappeared. And he's telling me that, and then he says, and then they were mad at me for drilling, and they're the ones that told me to drill. And I says, who's mad at you? And he says, the Federation. And I go, who's the Federation? And he goes, the Galactic Federation. And I go, okay. But he was dead serious, He was dead serious. Well, I had the treasure hunter contact me, who brought Dwayne in on that project. And it was, you bet Truott, it was Truott. And Truott was involved with that Galactic Federation. Truott brought Dwayne Ollinger into that project because he had an old family journal talking about that property. And so he went in cahoots with Dwayne, and they was doing all kinds of things, and I'm not going to steal Truott's thunder, but True is going to talk about all the things that went and happened, how he's going to talk about everything, how they got involved, what his family's journal, his relatives' journal said from the 1800s about that property, what's all supposed to be there, how the Galactic Federation got involved, and how everybody who was recruited, including General Jeremiah Davis, who was a decorated war hero from Vietnam. He had high government clearances. They checked him out, man. He had impeccable sources, but he was the high commander leader over and I'm probably not even saying this right because I'm not a UFO guy. He was the high commander over a Starfleet or something like that. They all died. Every one of them that was tied in with this property in the Galactic Federation. And the Galactic Federation says that they was going to protect them, keep them all alive. They was all going to live to be well over 100. They had all kinds of medical advanced things that they was going to help them. They're all dead, every one of them. And True will be talking about that. So it's a strange deal, that Blind Frog Ranch, And I don't want to steal True's thunder, but that'll be Saturday night. The main speaker, the very last speaker, Saturday night, he's going to go over all that stuff. And it's a crazy, wild story.
So did you get it worked out what's happening with the trip over there?
So, yeah, Wednesday, we're going Wednesday, and I think around 10 o'clock. So,
where are you meeting?
I'll find out and let you know, Jack. I've been so busy with work.
I know.
I don't know. Terry, do you think there's no Bigfoot or leprechauns? Hey, I used to. Well, I'll answer your question first, Jack, and then I'll answer that one. True. I forgot what I was thinking about. So
Leprechaun.
the problem with Blind Frog Ranch is there was a big court battle between Dwayne and True, and True lost. He lost big time. He was supposed to be on the title for part of the property, and somehow he got wrangled out of it, according to True. But True has the mineral claims on it, so they cannot legally dig or do anything on Blind Frog because that's True's claims. And so True has the rights to go on there, and so he's taking a tour of some of the people to go there. So, and Jack, I'm inviting you to go there and hear a story about what's going on there. But he'll be telling the most of the story on Saturday night. But anyways, so somebody asked about leprechauns, little people, Bigfoot. I used to didn't believe in Bigfoot. I used to, I thought, man, as many hunters go out into the mountains, why hasn't nobody ever found a dead one, And I used to do a lot of coyote hunting, and I had an old boy tell me, he says, Terry, that coyotes, the only reason you can call them in is because they only have instinct. They don't have any logic. They have their sense of smell, hearing, sight is so keen that they can see, smell, and hear you from forever, but they don't have logic. They only have instinct, and their instinct is find food, fight and save and scrap and live for another day. But if they had logic, he says, you would never ever be able to see them. And he says, you can take a hound dog. These guys that hunt lions, they take a hound dog and they run them down a dirt road, and that hound dog will pick up the scent of that lion, and it knows. That hound dog knows that 8-foot wide dirt road or that 6-foot dirt road. That hound dog knows the difference between the freshest scent from one side to the other. It knows which way that lion's going by the scent. That's some keen smell, So I had somebody tell me that if Bigfoot had logic plus all that, man, you wouldn't hardly ever see him. But I thought, well, why don't you ever find any dead ones? I have been in the mountains a lot. I spent a lot of time in the mountains, a lot of time when I was younger. I don't know anybody that's ever found a dead bear that's already, that hasn't been, that just naturally died or whatever. I don't know anybody that's ever found a bear, I've only seen 2 bears in my entire life in the mountains, and I spend a lot of time up there. And there's way more bears out there than there is Bigfoot, If you don't ever find dead bears that are naturally dead, I don't think you're going to find a Bigfoot either.
Well, same with deer. How many deer do you find dead, or elk and all of that?
I see a lot of deer. I've come across a lot of dead deer, but
really?
Never ever a bear.
No.
So I think I know who's in the chat room here. Going to go to Moon Lake. I know I saw Scott in here. Scott's going out there.
Scott,
Brad,
man, we got some talking to do.
Brad's going out. So Scott and Brad, I know you guys are going out. Anybody in here else going out there to the Moon Lake, Utah? So yeah, me and Scott's coming out together. So that's when we got the room there. And then you were going to take us out, wasn't you? One day or something? Monday.
I'm going to try. If I get off work, I'm going to try.
Well, if you can't. Yeah,
I'm
Dave.
Try.
Yeah, well, we'd appreciate if you do. Even Dave said that he was going to try to take us out or something, too, on Monday. So
cool.
Maybe between somebody,
you'll get taken out.
Yeah.
We'll get out and get to go play with our new detectors,
Cool.
Detector?
Yeah, new detector.
New detector.
Yeah, I got a new detector.
Did you know?
I did. Who else popped in? Billy Z.
Billy Z and
Jeffrey Lucas.
There's the Moon Lake Gathering, man. There is people come from all across the country. Even last year, we had people from Germany overseas. We always have people from Mexico and Puerto Rico and places like that. But people come from all across the country, and you just never know who's going to show up. We've had production companies show up. We've had from construction workers to lawyers to investment bankers. You just never know. We had an investment banker one time who invested in some treasure sites in New Mexico, and found out the guy was kind of cheating him, and so he took the guy to court, and the guy didn't have any money. He won, but the guy didn't have any money to pay him, so he just says, well, how about the claims? So he ended up with the claims, but he was an investment banker. He had no clue on what to do. So he hooked up with some of the guys there, and they took him out there and got him started, helped him out. And so, there's all kinds of people like that. We bring the speakers to bring everybody in, but the real treasure, the real knowledge is all you guys. All you guys, man, have all kinds of knowledge. And I tell people, if you want to hear some great stories and you're shy, just if you see 2 or 3 people standing around in a circle, just go up and eavesdrop, man, because you are going to hear the most fantastic stories you've ever heard. And I told that a few years ago to this to people, and this lady comes up to me 2 years ago, and she told me, she says, Terry, she says, I did what you told me to do, and she says, I can't believe the stuffs I heard. Or she says, I had the fantastic time. I can't believe it. And I says, what did I tell you to do? She says, if you see 2 or 3 people standing around talking, just go listen. She says, I did. She says, I'll never miss another one of these, because there's some interesting people. There's some interesting stories, and it's really a place to meet like-minded people. So,
hey Terry, you gonna have the stories about the lost Dutchman?
So I'm not going to have, except for Jason will be there. So I'm not really going to have anything about the Lost Dutchman. But we're having Kelly Nelson. He'll be giving a 2-part presentation on how to interpret Spanish treasure signs, symbols, death traps. He'll be having that. Del Bascom, he's kind of the old timer for the Uinta Mountains, the lost Spanish gold and treasures in the Uinta Mountains. When he was younger, he's a 2nd generation treasure hunter. His dad was a Lost Roads mine treasure hunter, and so his dad introduced him to all the old timers way back when, and so he's got a mountain of knowledge, and he'll be talking about the Uinta Mountains, the Lost Roads mine, the Spanish gold bars. I got to look at my cheat sheet because I keep on forgetting everybody. For treasure hunting. Hillbilly Bob Brewer's coming. He called me yesterday and said he's coming, and so he's going to be presenting. He's going to be giving some information about the KGC treasures, and one that he's said that he's located where it's at. He's going to be talking about that one. And then on top of that, we've got all kinds of people for Bigfoot, for UFOs. The guy that owns the ranch right next door to Skinwalker Ranch, Wyan Burns, their fence lines, their back fence lines butt right up to each other. And so a lot of strange things goes on his ranch. He calls his ranch Space Wolf Research, and he does his own research and stuff. There is a lot of crazy things goes on at his ranch. He's going to be talking about that. He'll be talking on that. D. Warner, Matt Warner. Matt Warner, I don't know if you guys know who Matt Warner was. He was an outlaw that hung out with Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And he was an outlaw. He got caught, went to prison, and when he got out, he became a sheriff. So he was outlaw turned sheriff. But Butch Cassidy, when everybody said he died in Bolivia, Butch Cassidy come and visited the family, wrote a letter. Well, D. Warner is Matt Warner's grandson, and Matt Warner told him all kinds of stories. D. Warner's 92 years old. He's going to be opening up the family secrets about Matt Warner, Butch Cassidy, and all that stuff. He's going to be talking about that. We got Joe Hickey that lives out in Lone Tree, population 5 or maybe 7. Well, the outlaws used to hang out there, and he's going to be talking about all that stuff. Plus, he's got an incredible collection of old-time period guns that the outlaws used to have and things like that. So, we just got, man, it's just going to be packed with stuff. So,
Tony said, anything on Oak Island?
Nope, we're not going to have anything on Oak Island. You know, there is so much treasure stories out there. You know, it's hard to
Yeah.
hit them all. You know, that there is a lot of information out there. You know, we've got you know, True Odd will cover the Blind Frog Ranch. Terry Delanis, and Stephen Bluminger, they was on Gold Lies and Videotapes for Victoria Peak. They'll be there for that. Who else do we got that was on? I don't know. There's just so much stories out there, and you know, it's hard to connect with them all, you know, but over a period of time, who knows? We might have something with Oak Island, you know, eventually. You never know. And I was telling you, Jack, that this Subterix, they just contact us and have just donated a bunch of stuff. They're gonna be donating for the raffle a Spanish real coin from the 1600s, and plus giving some of their new technology for. And he explained it, and it's something to do with easier ways for you to find places to treasure hunt, easier ways for you to find locations of gold. They've got it hooked up and it's refined where they can get the what is it when you take the vegetation away?
The LiDAR.
They've got that hooked up and run through filters and dude, man, it's incredible. They're gonna be there and talk a little bit about what they're doing, but they're giving away some of their memberships to that for the raffles, and what he was telling me about, it's gonna be they're gonna launch it, and I can't speak intelligent about it because it was just so much, and it did so much that when he was telling me about it and showing me, I was just blown right away. So I'll just say, man, you need to listen to this for Subterix, and I forget what the name of it's going to be, but they're launching it at the Moon Lake Gathering, the one for gold prospecting. And what he was showing me is incredible. So Jack, man, you're gonna have to listen to it and
Absolutely. Yeah, I told her I've got to take my checkbook with me too.
So they're going to be presenting. So that's one you'll want to hit, Jack, because they're having one specifically for gold prospecting. It'll tell you, it breaks it down and shows where your best local chances are of finding things, who owns what claims. I mean, it did so much. You know, the LiDAR, it did so much. I couldn't even believe everything it was doing.
Yeah, that'd be, let's see, Facebook we got, I'm just looking here, Zach Blue, Mike the Miner, WTXE, Wake Up Crew, Klondike Prospector, Robert Reiki. I saw another question here, where'd that go? Is that it?
There's two.
Oh, let's see, right there?
There's
No,
that.
right there. Okay. Terry, are you going to make it to the Dutch Hunter Rendezvous this year?
I like to try to go to the Dutch Hunters Rendezvous. It's a lot of fun, you know. Old Wayne Tuttle and them guys put on a great event, you know, and it's a lot of fun. So if I can make it, definitely I will.
I know with your busy schedule. Let's see, and then who's this here?
The Stick with Rick.
The stick with. Do you know where the alien hangar is in the Superstition Mountains?
So I'm not a UFO guy, but you know, I know you bump into all these guys, you know, and so speaking with Dana Harper and Stephen can't think of his last name. They was telling me that man, there was like an alien war going up above the Superstitions, and a UFO got shot down, and they was up above the Dutch Hunters the museum there, and they could look over in there, and all of a sudden these black SUVs come up, man, and chased them out and was doing all kinds of things. It was crazy. So I don't know anything really. I don't follow the UFO. I want to stay as far away from the UFOs as I can, because you hear about all these abductions, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't want Bigfoot to grab a hold of me. I just want to find a gold bar, you know, find a I just want to find a Spanish gold bar, that where I only got to worry about if they put arsenic on it or something. I don't want to have to fight Bigfoot and aliens.
Right on.
So Larry says he owes you some stories.
Yes, he does owe me some stories. How you doing, Larry? Larry was going to try and hook me up with the Dutch Hunters Rendezvous last year. They had Vanessa that does the drilling, the big case on drilling for Oak Island. And I think they went out to Blind Frog Ranch. I'm not 100% sure about that to do some drilling out there too. So he was going to try and hook me up, but man, well, I just got so busy and we got filled up pretty fast. So, but that would have been fun to have her on because she did give a great talk there at the Dutch Hunters Rendezvous.
So yeah, so you got to, everybody comes out to that event. You got to come out to this event. I'm trying to make as many events as I can. I'll go to the Superstition one again this year, and many years I couldn't go to Superstitions just because I always fell on my detector weekend thing. But then switch that around. So that's a fun event. Your thing is a fun event, and like you say, there's a ton of knowledge there. And hell, just even last year. You had the people talking up on the stage. You had the people in the rooms. You can't see everything. You can't go to everything. You just got to pick and choose of what, or do a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Tweet, 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 tweet.
Yeah, there's no way you can get to it all. There's just too much. There's just too much.
Yeah. So, Robert, do you know what he was talking about on that cave or something?
Aliens?
In the Superstitions, that whatever that.
The aliens.
Alien
Go
something?
down. Go down. Go down. Keep going.
I've never seen any Superstition.
Here. Do you know where the alien hangar is in the
The
Superstition
alien
Mountains?
hangar is. Hell, I don't even know where the Peralta plates are in the Superstition. I don't even know where Jacob.
They're at the.
Yeah.
One other speaker we're going to have is Alien Dave, man. That you guys know about Area 51. Well, there's talk that they moved Area 51 to Area 52, which is out here in Utah, and Alien Dave Rosenfeld, he's going to be talking about that. He's investigated and done a lot of research and stuff with that. Been out there, spent a lot of time out there, seen a lot of crazy things, and so he'll be talking about that.
So where's the Area 51 that we hit when we went to Reno?
And Reno, that was really strange.
We went Groom Lake.
The what?
Groom Lake in Nevada.
Yeah.
Where's it at in Nevada?
Groom Lake.
Noellis.
Norales. Oh.
Well, Nellis. They'd fly out of Nellis Air Force Base and fly over to Groom Lake, over to Area 50.
Yeah, because we were driving and all of a sudden we saw the signs that said Area 51 and we stopped there and checked that all out and thought, I don't know why, but in my head I always thought Area 51 was in New Mexico. The big thing.
Yeah, in Roswell.
Roswell.
That was Roswell. That was New Mexico.
I don't know why I got that all screwed up.
That's what they say Area 51 is Roswell. So but they told us that this is the real Area 51.
Well, maybe it is near there. I always just assumed it was in Nevada because they fly out of Las Vegas. Most of them people that work there, they'd fly out of Las Vegas on unmarked planes and go out there and.
Yeah.
Like I say, I don't know that much about. I stay far away from them UFO guys. I don't want nothing to do with them aliens.
No, I know.
They might clean me up.
Yeah, you don't. I remember now. See, I don't know. I guess I would believe we probably not the only ones on the universe as far as the evolvement and technology. I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows something in a higher. But I remember one time when I used to go prospecting. And I would drive up this mountain, and then I was so high up on the mountain that I could see my buddy that came from Phoenix, his lights coming up the dirt road, so I knew he was on his way. But one time I'm sitting up there and I'm looking down, and I swore I saw this like plane or something just stop. And then all of a sudden this thing comes out, do just like that, and then it went back up, and I thought, what the hell? So I do believe there's something out there. I don't know what, but I do believe there's something.
Well, 1 year Ryan Burns, he's got the ranch right next to Skinwalker Ranch. It's called Space Wolf. He invited us out there, and one night we was out there, and it was about midnight, and all of a sudden it was a long ways away. I mean, they looked like little stars. All of a sudden they'd come out of nowhere, and then they'd zip over here and then stop and zip back over here and then zip over here, and then they'd zip back and disappear. And they'd come out one at a time, 5 at a time, 3 at a time. For an hour or two, man. They just come out of nowhere, zip around, then go back and disappear. And that was strange. And I don't know what that was. That a UFO? I don't know. Or was that? I don't know what that was. It was strange to see that.
We had Phoenix Light. If anybody remembers that.
Oh yeah, we remember the Phoenix Lights.
Yeah, I remember them lights. My kid come walking in from outside, and he said, "Dad, there's a whole bunch of lights out there. Come and check it out." We just thought he was smoking something, so we just blew him off. And then the next day, it was all over the news and said, "Damn, we missed them, man." Is there a charge for camping?
Wayne Nugget Brain Peterson, man, I hope you make it out. So we have an area that's just south of the event center. It's just over the bridge. It's just right there. It's over the river, over the bridge. There's an area where you can camp for free, or there at the event center, and they're probably all booked up now. That if you need hookups, I think it's like you gotta schedule it with the event center, but it's $25 a night, I think, for full hookups. But if you don't need any hookups, heck yeah, you can camp over there across the bridge, which is just right there. It's where the horse people come in and pull all their trailers and their campers, and where they stay out there. It's like a 5-10 acre area, that's just a gravel area for parking that. So yes, you can camp there for free. You can pitch your tent there for free if you want. I'm working on. I've got to get it together. We got a guy who's about 15 minutes away, he says, and he's got some property where he's going to allow people to come and camp there for free. And he's it's hot here, and there's a lot of fires. So fires are prohibited, but because he's got pressurized water there, he can have a campfire there. So after the meetings, he wants to have the kind of a campfire, and that's where some of your best stories comes out of them campfires. So I got to get more information out about that. That's going to be for free, but yeah, just right there at the event center, just across the bridge, across the river, you can camp for free. So we're trying to make this as cheap for everybody as we can. There's I think I was told today that all the hotels are pretty much booked up. So the next town over, Roosevelt, it's about 30 miles away. They still got plenty of hotels over there in Roosevelt, but the whole town, you can check around if you're coming out and you want a hotel or something like that. Check around, but I was told that it's all booked up. There's a lot of people coming.
So the camping spots you're talking about where people put the horse trailer, how long can people stay out there? Can they just stay there the whole winter?
Well, no, this is just for this event. People can stay there for this event.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Maybe next year I'm going to bring my trailer and I'll stay out there for a few weeks.
Well, I don't know how long you could stay there for. I mean, $25 is a bargain. $25 a night. For full hookups, but
it's cheaper than the hotel.
Yeah, that's so yeah. I think if it wasn't for the event, they allow us to do that because we're having the event there and the event center. Man, they gave us a bargain basement price for this thing, or we wouldn't be able to afford to do this. It's a nice event center. It's first class. It's indoors climatized. You remember when we was outdoors, Jack? It was hot or it rained or it was windy or it was. This is indoors, nice, climatized. It's a great event. It's first class.
And you got food trucks coming too, right? For
food trucks will be there. Yeah.
And now, so how many vendors do you think are going to be there?
I have no idea. Somebody else that's on our team is working with that. I think they told me like 30 maybe, but I really don't. I really don't.
So when do they come in and start setting up? Thursday?
So they're gonna be coming in and setting up Thursday day.
Okay.
They'll be setting up Thursday day. So it opens up like I say, for the vendor, if you go to terrylcarter.net, I have that schedule. That stuff's on that. Who's speaking? What they're speaking about. Yeah, they'll be coming in early Friday and Saturday and getting set up. And the event itself starts Friday morning for the main show at 10 a.m. Our first speaker will be Wayne May. He's going to be talking about out-of-place archaeology stuff. One of my favorite things, the giants, the things that shouldn't be, that has been found here. They say Columbus was the first person here, There wasn't any intercontinental travel before Columbus. Well, they're finding all kinds of things, that rune stones, Hebrew writing, all kinds of things they're finding, artifacts, But you never hear about that. Well, Wayne's spent a lifetime. He's owns the Ancient American magazine. He's publisher editor. He's going to be talking about some of these things that has been found, that's documented, that's verified, but yet they don't want to give it credit because it blows their theory out that Columbus was the first one here. Terry, do you do any prospecting or metal detector? If so, what are your favorite tools? I don't do a lot of prospecting, but I do metal detecting. I don't do the metal detecting. I do is out in the mountains looking for the Spanish gold bars. So I'm looking for evidences of the Spanish being there, So I'm not finding a lot of things, but your favorite tool, my favorite tool is for metal detecting is a metal detector. Other than that, I got a shovel. I used to take with me to one of them pick hammers, those geologist pick hammers. That's what I used to dig in the ground with. That's what I used to, that's what I used for a long time. But I'll take a small shovel with me, a hammer with me, and out in the mountains, I find a lot of bullet brass and lead.
Do you have a brand, Terry?
Do I have a brand?
Yeah, like a favorite.
So I used to sell and rent metal detectors and prospecting equipment back in the 80s, 90s, and back then, my favorite brand was Tesoro. That was my go-to. I had my Tesoro Lobo. That was my go-to detector. I used that thing for everything. But Tesoro, they fell behind the times. Tesoro's gone out of business, and so I did old Nugget Brain Wayne Peterson invited me to go to help him put on a show in Colorado at the Sportsman's Expo, and so I went there, and he shared it with the Calico girls, metal detecting, Calico metal detectors. He showed the booth there, and them girls talked me into buying a Nocta Simplex. It was just a cheap detector. I think it was like $250, $300. Man, I was blown away by what you got with that, man. You got headphones that were Bluetooth, the detector, man. Man, it was more powerful than my Tesoro Lobo. I was absolutely, you could take it 10 foot underwater. I mean, I was just absolutely blown away by what you got. What you got for what you spent, man. You got way more, And so here 2 years last year I went to Oak Island in North Carolina, and I wanted a detector that was good for salt and stuff like that, and multi-frequency. So just because you get the biggest bang for your buck, I bought me another Nocta metal detector. I bought a triple score, and I've been happy with it. I'm sure for different things, not one detector will do it all great. If you want a better detector for getting gold, there's specific detectors for gold. Not one detector does it all. So you got to decide what you're gonna hunt with the most. You're gonna hunt parks. You're gonna hunt beaches. You're gonna get the detector that is gonna do you the best job for that particular thing. And then you can use it for the other stuffs too. But I got the Nocta just because I was impressed at how much stuff you got for your money. You got a lot for your money.
You're talking though about what, a 10-year or 15-year difference from your Lobos
Yeah.
to the Noctas in technology and
Probably a 20-year difference. Yeah.
yeah. And what was good about the Lobo, because they were in Arizona, up in Prescott, so they were
Yeah.
designed more here in Arizona for this mineralization in our ground. So we hated to see them go out of business. But
Oh,
then you had
they,
whites, and the
yeah,
whites was the
whites
next,
too.
yeah,
You hate to
24K.
see, yeah, you hate to see them companies go out of business, and I don't know that. I wonder if the metal detecting companies are starting to have a hard time. They ain't. I wonder if the younger generations aren't into this like we were, Jack. I don't know, because I see Garrett's cutting back. I see they cut off
Yeah.
KG and Ringy and now just Aqua Chick.
Yeah.
They
Well,
just cut him off and so yeah.
well, a long time ago. Well, actually, see, we're dealers, so we sell everything too. We sell Noctas too. But so a couple years ago, Garrett, we were informed that they're starting to sell on their own, so they're undercutting the dealers. So a lot of dealers were no longer ordering the Garretts anymore. So they kind of stayed away from Garrett. So Garretts are suffering. Fisher, I think, will be the next one that goes out of business. Because I think I know they own a lot of other brands, Night Owl and stuff, and we've gotten some emails from them that they have discontinued a lot of stuff. So
Really?
I think they'll probably be the next one that goes out. So yeah, it was.
And that's sad. That's really sad, because it's sad, because you want the competition, you want and they were all great. They were all. I used to tell people.
Pine Lab kicks ass, and that's just, they've got a corner on the market. I mean, they really do, They're a little on the pricey side, but they do. What's the biggest sign to look for when searching for Spanish treasure?
A lot when I was younger, back in the 80s, there was still a few of the Spanish treasure signs on trees and things like that. They're pretty much all gone now. What I tell people is you go out looking for things that don't look natural. You see a depression in the ground that don't look natural. You see a line of rocks that are in a straight line that don't look natural. You spend some time and investigate that and find out why. Because it's the signs and symbols and all that aren't out there. Back in the 50s, them treasure hunters, they'd come across these rocks with the signs marked on the rocks, man, and they destroyed them because they didn't want anybody else to find them and try and beat them to the treasure, And so, there's just not a lot of signs and symbols out there anymore. But you look for things that just don't look natural. But however, Kelly's going to be talking about that, because there are certain things that are that are still out there that you wouldn't think. It's like Towatts at Blind Frog Ranch that overlooks the sacred Ute Indian mine. Towatts is a natural formations that the Ute says, hey man, this is like a I don't want to say a god, but some kind of a, and this represents him, and he's looking over the treasure. Well, it's just a natural formation that looks like, a face or something,
We don't have headphones.
You can also use the worlds out here in Arizona.
Oh, yeah. Hold on here.
That's the president. Hold on, I got to take this call.
And Jack,
yes,
finally found out.
Yeah. Yes, sir, Mr. President.
Old Salvador Delgadillo took me out there in the superstition areas and was showing to me and talking to me about the cactuses cut off, the arms cut off, square notches put into it, some initials put into it. He was showing me some of that stuff. So Salvador Delgadillo is, and we don't have any cactuses like that here in Utah, so we don't know about that stuff. But you guys sure do there. So yeah.
Well, so so I know Robert's going with us this year. We're going to Oklahoma for this treasure hunt, where like Mel Fisher went before. There's a couple other people here in the chat room. We're going to Oklahoma for looking for these gold bars that Mel Fisher found and stuff like that. But yeah.
Which ones are that? What's the name of it?
What, the name of the place?
We call it the name of the treasure. Oh,
Well,
okay.
we call it Oklahoma just to protect the innocent.
Yeah, okay.
But
Okay, I'm wondering if it was kind of a KGC treasure or something like that.
no. But so we were out there exploring. Supposedly there's some old cities built out there. You can barely see the old foundations. One of your old friends has been out there many, many times, so you know the story of the giants were out there and all types of
Oh,
stuff. You know where it's at. You've been there
okay.
before.
All
Okay,
right. Okay. Yeah. I know what
okay.
you're talking about now. You
And
had
so,
me thrown
anyways,
for a loop there.
so we were out there last year, and we saw this huge turtle right out in the middle of the thing. It was a perfect shell of a turtle up on rocks, like it was carved out, and it had the head on it. And then so Scott's been looking on LiDAR and seeing these holes. So anyway, we're going back this year, and supposedly where the friend was, where he was standing on these rocks, where Mel Fisher found this gold bar. Oh, am I supposed to shut up about
Yes,
this?
stop talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're
Yeah.
back
It
talking about
wasn't.
Moon Lake.
It wasn't. It wasn't Mel Fisher. It was. It was. Another great treasure hunter that found a lot of stuff. I can't think of his name off the top
Yeah,
of my
but no,
head.
Mel Fisher was there apparently.
He was there too. So I got a story to tell you.
Okay.
So we was there and we was gonna look for this lava tube, and so but he was worried about rattlesnakes. So I bought one of them little snake cameras that hooks to your phone, and I needed a way to push it. So I had some PVC that I slipped the couplings together, and I was gonna push it in there with the camera on, but I wanted to push it in there first to make sure I could get it to go very far, go something. And so I pushed it, and it went, and it hit a spot and started going. So I pull it out, I put my camera on, I tape the snake camera to it, man, and I'm pushing it in there, and all of a sudden, man, I'm looking at my phone and I hit a bee's nest. And the bees started billowing out of that hole. So I took my backpack and my coat and I threw it over that hole, trying to keep them bees from coming out. And they're finding holes and they're coming out. And I'm thinking to myself, man, we're in the middle of nowhere, and if these are them African bees, man, we're toast. We are toast. And but luckily they must not have been, because they came piling out. But the only one that got stung was our friend. And he says, "That's it, man. I'm done for the day." I said, "Ben, this is no big deal. Let's go get some wasp killer. We'll be good." "Nope, we're done, man. Snowman, we're done."
Since I heard stories about the bees. Yeah. I know you're loaded with stories. I know you're going to be a speaker of this Moon Lake thing, aren't you? You got a ton of stories to tell.
I gotta remember them, but no, I'm not. I just like to go and hear everybody. I just hear a lot of great stories. I got a few of my own, but I just like to hear a lot of great stories. But yeah.
Yeah, Fish.
Yeah. Frank Fish.
Frank Fish, yeah, that's who it was.
Who did I say?
Mel Fisher.
Mel Fisher.
Oh, Frank Fish. Yeah, so there was a picture. Supposedly he found that gold bar underneath the rocks right there.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, in Oklahoma. Yeah, okay.
So Mel Fisher did come out to the Uinta Mountains, right by where we're having the Moon Lake gathering. He was out there looking for Spanish gold bars, and the story goes, I talked to one of the Utes on the tribal council, and he told me that Taffy Fisher and Melvin Apt, Taffy's husband, he was out there with Mel Fisher because he was married to Mel's daughter, Taffy, and he confirmed to me that they had a meeting with the Utes. Well, one of the Ute tribal members told me that he says there's gold on your land, and we'd like to work a deal with you to get it. And the Ute says, "How do you know there's gold on our land?" And he says, "Because this bar says so." And he slid a gold bar over to him, and they turned it over, and it had a map on it, and of the Uinta Mountains. So there's a lot of stories about the Uinta Mountains and the Spanish gold.
So we were kind of talking a little bit. So when you drive up to, what is that, Rock Creek, I guess it is, where you said the dam is at, where they put the dam at?
Yeah.
And if you keep going, there's a parking spot to park, right?
Yeah.
So
campground, parking spot up above, yeah.
Yeah, so if we parked there, where would you go to search for anything at that point?
So I heard a story. There was an old when they was building that dam. There was an old boy that came and parked his car there every day and hiked up the mountains up in there before they built the dam. And finally, the guy operating the cat, building the dam, asked him what he was doing, and he told him, man, that way back when he was up there hunting or something, and he seen a metal ring laying on the ground, a big metal ring, and so he went to pick it up, man, and it wouldn't pick up. So he moved a bunch of dark rocks and stuff out of the way, and it was a metal door, and he got it lifted open and got down in there, and there was gold and silver bars in there. At the time, you couldn't own gold, so he grabbed a silver bar, and it was heavy. It took all he could do to heft that silver bar out, got it down to his car, man, got a hernia, and then a big snowstorm came. He couldn't get back, but before he left, he covered it up so somebody else couldn't find this. And he never ever could find it back. And before they built that lake, he was trying to find that, so I don't know if it was some there underneath the lake now or up above it somewhere. But from there, it seems like that the story that from the lake, as you're looking at from the dam, he was up to the left-hand side, up above the lake there somewhere. I got with Heavy D Sparks. He's got that Black Hawk helicopter. Man, he spent a lot of money. He's, Terry, man, I want to help you try and find something. Let's go look. So he flew me all over in that area, all over a bunch of areas, and we never found not one thing. But man, he tried hard to help me find something, man. I was looking for a lot of things, and we never found nothing. And he spent a lot of money trying to help me. And he flew low and slow, and man, we didn't see anything that what I was looking for. So.
Wow. So do you think at the Moon Lake then people's going to tell us where the secrets are to go hunt, or do you think people's hush and we're not telling you anything?
Well, there'll be a lot of stories. A lot of it's hush hush, and people think they know. They're not going to tell anything. We had, and I don't know really the whole backstory of it, but the Uinta Mountains they're the Superstition Mountains, they're known as the Killer Mountains. Well, the Uinta Mountains are the same way. There's a lot of people ended up dead, ended up missing, ended up there in the and we just recently we had one here 2 or 3 years ago. We had a guy from Finland. He told his family that he was going hiking. That's all he told his family. They just figured he was going up to the mountain cabin there in Finland, going hiking, and they didn't hear from him for a couple weeks. So they went up to the cabin. He'd never been there. They get into his place. They look on his computer. Man, he's got on his computer all kinds of things about Moon Lake and the mountains above Moon Lake. So they tracked his credit cards. He hopped a plane, flew into Salt Lake City. He paid a taxi driver $500 to drive him up to Moon Lake. They'd seen the cameras from coming out of the airport. He did not have the type of gear that he needed for the weather conditions we were having. Anyways, the taxi driver drove him up there, and then right shortly after that, man, we got some torrential snowstorms up there, and that's the last anybody has ever seen or heard of him. He's still to this day hasn't been found.
Yeah, Tad, he'll tell me where the gold is after he gets it all. Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks, man.
So, man, if you find a gold bar, my advice is, as soon as you tell one person, it's no longer a secret.
You know what? If you find a gold bar, there's no way you're going to sell it. So what you're going to have to do is melt it down and make little ounce ingots out of it to pass them off.
You know what you do, Jack? You make jewelry.
Yeah, there you go too. Yeah, you just chop it up in pieces, melt it down, and that's what I'd do. I'd pour a bunch of ingots.
But do you notice any of the stories about people who find these treasures? They mark it so they can find it when they go back, and they can never find it again. Every story is like that.
Yeah, they're all like that.
You
You
know,
know, there's stuff being found, but unless you know them, unless they trust you, you'll never hear about it. You'll never hear it. If they're smart, if they're not smart, man, then they told everybody, and all kinds of people have come after them to get it. You know, the good people, the bad people, you know. I had a friend, and I can tell this now because he's passed away now for quite a while, but he found 400 Spanish gold bars in the Uinta Mountains. The smallest one was 12 pounds. They weren't pure gold. I think it was like 56% gold, and then it had a lot of copper, iron, lead, silver, all kinds of stuffs in it, you know. But he found 400 of them. He never
Wow.
told a soul. You know, he let me hold one of them. But
so you know, I remember. Oh, this had to be God, what, 50 years ago, maybe? Probably 50 years ago, 40 years ago, sometime, long time ago. Anyway, my dad was telling us a story one time that he was actually, because I asked him about this just a couple years ago, and he says, I vaguely remember it, but I believe it was on Rock Creek. Is there a creek there running water?
Rock Creek, yeah,
Yeah. Where you
yeah,
can fish?
yeah.
Okay, because he said so. Him and his buddy, they were in the creek and they're fly fishing. They're big fly fishermen, and he said there was something in the bank that caught his eye, and they walked over to it, and there was a bunch of rocks there, and they moved the rocks out of the way, and they swore there was Spanish stuff inside of there, like whether it was helmets or swords or something. But they had no means of taking it. I mean, they didn't have no gear. They had their fly poles and their fishing stuff, so they covered it back up. And they said next time they come up, they would be more prepared and get some of this stuff out. But they never ever went back.
Yeah, there's supposed to be something like that. There's some fishermen found some gold statues in the creek there, in the river there. Yeah, there's stories of people finding some water trap mines that the Spaniards had, and getting caught by the Utes and getting a finger chopped off, and told, man, if you ever come back and we see you're missing a finger, you're dead. You're dead. This is your warning. You know.
So you know where you park at then, at the parking lot, once you pass the thing and you up there and you park where all the parking spots are, I guess. And then if you get out and you kind of walk a trail a little bit, it seems like there was some running water, just a stream of running water. Do you know, remember seeing that or anything?
There is below the dam. You're talking up above it?
Yeah. Where people parked at. You could park, there was a parking area, and then it looked like there was like trails that you take off and walk on these trails and to go back into the forest. But we ran across, we got a signal anyway, and we dug down in the water about 2 feet. We were down about a good 2 feet. And it just kept caving in on us. Finally, I was tired. We didn't really have a big shovel or anything. I just said, you guys have at it. I'm done. But there was a few people with us. Anyways, we believe there's stuff up in there.
So you know, that's a man-made dam. So you know, some people say that it probably covered up something there, but that was one of the things the Utes would do. You know, the Spaniards came in, they enslaved the Indians, they worked them till they worked them hard until they died. I mean, the Utes didn't last very long. They only lasted a year or two before they died. Well, the Utes didn't like that program, so they banded together and did whatever it took to drive all the Spaniards out. And once they got them all out and massacred, they took all the gold bars, they took all the mines, they did whatever it took to hide it all. You know, if it took the tribe a whole year to cover up a mine to make it look like there was never nothing there, you know, they did. And so you know, and the Utes will tell you the easy stuff has already been found. It's the harder stuff that's still out there, and it's you know, unless you have some flooding or something like that, it's just not really going to be found that easy. But I don't know why I started talking about that. Oh, I do too remember. You know, you're talking about in the water. Back in the early '80s, I was working at out to the power plant. They was building a power plant out in Vernal, and I went up to the White Rocks area, and there was this brand new truck there. This was in the early '80s, and it had something weird inside of it. I'd never seen anything like that. I didn't know what that was, so I stopped, and it belonged to an old Ute woman, and she told me that she'd panned enough gold, and she wasn't going to tell me where. Of course, I wouldn't tell either. But she panned enough gold that she bought that truck. It was brand new, and it was a gold trommel in the back of her truck. It was a gold trommel, and she bought that, with the gold that she panned out of that there. You hear stories that there's no gold in the Uintas, but there is. There's the Uinta Mountains are so new, and where the gold came up, it hasn't deteriorated and spread out. So it's not like you can pan the rivers and pan the hillsides and figure out where the source is, because it hasn't spread out enough yet. So it's concentrated in some little areas, certain areas throughout the Uintas. And unless you're right on them, you're not gonna find them. There's no panning to track back to where it came from, because the mountains just hasn't deteriorated enough yet.
See, and I remember when I told you, when we were talking just the other day, and you mentioned that to me about how come Utah don't have a lot of gold. And it's just like out here in Arizona, when we're out looking for gold, the mountains tell a lot. If they're pointy mountains, they're newer mountains. If they're rounded at top, then they're older mountains, and those are the ones that's weathered out, and the gold has released itself. So when you're saying that's newer mountains out there, that makes sense why there's not a lot of gold, I guess, that's been came out, I guess, to release itself to get it down in the creeks or wherever.
There's no gold supposedly in the superstitions either.
There ain't. That's a lie. Jacob Walters never got his gold out of the superstitions.
I got some pay dirt right here.
Yeah, I got some pay dirt I'll sell you too.
Our buddy, his grandmother, man, she had a heck of a time. She lost a husband, some kids, got remarried, lost another husband, got remarried. That husband wasn't doing well, was about to die, and she was working at the Indian school there, and one of the Apaches women felt sorry for her, so she took her out there and showed her where the Apaches was getting gold, and she was doing some mining. But then her husband moved her to California, so she never ever did anything with it. And that was way before. That was in that was in the 1920s that she had them claims. That was before old I can't remember my Lost Dutchman lore. Who's the guy that got shot out there back in the 30s?
Adolph Ruth.
Adolph Ruth, yeah.
It all
Way
started
before my time. Way before my time. So, anyways, I remember the one time when Dale took us up at Moon Lake, when you talked to Moon Lake, and Dale took us around on a tour, and we walked all the way around Moon Lake, and looked at a few things that were kind of there or not there anymore, signs, and all of that, and then what it was, Altamont. It's funny that when I grew up right there, I grew up in Granger, and where I lived at, a buddy of mine lived on the other side of the other street over there that we kind of hung out a lot. He now lives on that road when you leave Duchesne heading towards whatever it is. I forget the mile marker, but he only lives like 10 miles out of town right there. He bought a bunch of property out there, and he's living out there. And
going east or west?
Huh?
Going east
towards Moon Lake.
Oh, okay.
Altamont or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Going in that direction. Where you see all the flames, the fires coming up out of the ground. And then there's a big but a lot of trailers that people have houses off to the right. It splits and back in there. Anyway, so he's back there. So I can see him. So when I go up there, I kind of go out there and visit him or something a time or two, So, but it's funny, and I wanted to get, so I asked him, I said, is there any land out here for sale? I'd like to buy some land and just come out here in the wintertime and spend time just to go out and look for this type of stuff. I mean, you guys out there, you guys got it made, you got all this treasure stuff to look for. All we have here is stupid gold. I want treasure stuff.
Yeah, I tell people, man, I'm a treasure hunter, not a treasure finder, man. But it's fun looking. I've found some interesting things, but I haven't found no Spanish gold bars yet.
Neither have I. I've never found any gold bar, Mexican, Chinese, anything gold bar.
My neighbor found a silver bridle that was Spanish.
Cool.
That'd be
Back
cool.
in like
Remember that
1974.
gold bar that guy sent you that was whiskey?
Yeah, I've got whiskey gold bars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's one of them sitting in there actually, a whiskey gold bar. Yeah, that's it. Hey, I could bring that and donate that to the. That'd be good, huh? I could donate that.
Heck yeah.
That would be good, huh?
Is it in there? I don't know.
So, anyways, back to the Moon Lake Gathering. We've got Otto and Dave. They're going to be teaching people how to dowse, and so they've both got some stories. Old Dave Bullock, hit him up with if you go there. His dad and grandfather found the Lost Roads mine. His dad took a big chunk of rock out of it that had a lot of gold out of it, and they got over 7 ounces of gold out of that chunk of rock he got out of there. They went and filed the mining claims on it, and when they came back, man, it's like somebody took a bulldozer in there and bulldozed the whole thing over. They couldn't really figure out where the tunnel was, and they figured it was the Indians that did it, and so they just kind of walked away because they didn't want to piss the Indians off. But he got a chunk of gold out, a rock that had over 7 ounces in it. In fact, ask Dave, man, about his ring that he's wearing, Dave Bullock, because that's made out of that Rhodes gold mine. The gold that come out of that Lost Roads mine.
So yeah, so we see Gary Holt post once in a while on Facebook. You know, Anyway, we won't go into there. Where are you coming to, Brad? I know you're coming to Moon Lake. You coming out here? We're going to go look for stuff out here.
You coming to Arizona, Brad?
The who?
He wants to know if Brad's coming to Arizona.
Oh, is Brad coming? Are you coming to the Superstitions, Brad, too? Everybody should make all the trips around, type thing.
It's a lot of fun meeting all the different people, you know?
It is.
It's a lot of fun.
Well, anyway, Terry, so what one thing I want to say is, like I said, you have flooded Facebook. I mean, I think Facebook has told everybody else not to post anything for a while because they've dedicated everything to Terry, So,
and I thought, man, Facebook has throttled me down because I've been posting too much. I don't know.
Oh no, they like it. They like you posting that stuff, man. But anyway, so you have done. I see your post and I think, man, this guy is he's working his ass off, to promote this thing. So I just think, I don't know if you get enough credit or enough praise for all the stuff you know what? It's got to be a nightmare. She told me, she said, there's no way I'd let you do all that. You were not going to be gone for months at a time. You ain't going to be living on the internet full time. So I don't know how you do it.
It is, and every year I think, man, I'm done. I'm done doing this because it takes.
I know. I've heard you say that.
It takes my whole time away. But then I get there and I meet all the people and I hear all the stories and I think, that's why I'm doing this anyway, is to meet the people. That's my treasure, is meet the people, because there's a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of great stories out there. Every now and again, somebody will bring some great artifacts out there, But I do. I work a lot of hours, but from the time I get home from work until 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm trying to figure out things to post and doing stuffs, and then up at 4:30 in the morning and back to work. Yeah, I don't get a lot of sleep. I'm wore right out.
Well, no, but I just thought, I just thought that, I don't know if you get enough praise for all the stuff you do, because you really do put on a good show, and it really is interesting, and hopefully, a lot of people can make it out there.
It's not me. It's everybody else that's willing to share their story. It's everybody else, because there's a lot of great stories out there, and a lot of people that are willing to come and donate their time. Like the Ova Noss Family Partnership. Doc Noss and Victoria Peak. They're coming in from from California and back east, donating their time to share their story with you guys, and you, Jack, coming in from Arizona. There's Dean Lundgren sharing his story on the Mogollon Rim about Bigfoot. He's coming in from Arizona. Hillbilly Bob Brewer's coming in from Oklahoma, maybe. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of great people coming in from all over the country.
Well, it's like my every year my mother used to put on a big family get together, and she was the catalyst or whatever that made that happen. When she died, we've never been together since. So somebody has to be that person that's going to do it. If you don't, it's going to die. That's so true. I think it's good that you do that.
The Moon Lake Gathering is August 13th through the 15th at the Duchesne Event Center in Duchesne, Utah. And, man, it's a nice climatized venue. It's free, man. We hope you buy some raffle tickets to help us pay for this event. But, man, it's free. We'll have food trucks there. But if you can't afford the food trucks and you just barely got enough gas to get there, we got arranged for you to do some free camping. And, man, stop at the grocery store and buy a loaf of bread and some peanut butter and honey, man, and come and have a great time, and you'll meet a lot of great people.
Yeah, I'm leaving here Tuesday. I'm staying in Parowan, I think it is. First night.
You know what? That's where I am right tonight. I'm in Parowan.
Really?
Yep.
That's the hotel. I'm going to stay in the hotel in Parowan my first night because I'm not driving out. Huh?
Which
hotel?
Hotel am I in?
Mountain View Lodge, something like that.
That's where I'm at right now.
Okay. I'll be there on Tuesday.
I'll save this room for you.
Cool, man. Tell them I'm coming through.
Okay.
Tell them I'm coming through. I want that spot where Terry was. So when I film, because that's Tuesday. Yeah. So I'll do a show and I'll stand right where Terry's sitting at right now. And I'll say, does this look familiar?
You ought to stop. Man, you ought to stop in Cedar City.
I do.
You probably don't have time. You got some time?
Well, man. You know what's funny? Every time I go through, I always stop. Well, I used to camp there in Camp Walmart. And then I would go next door to the thrift store, which I really enjoy that thrift store right there. But there's some books out. It's called Treasure Atlas books. There's a whole volume set of them.
Yeah.
In that one of them, but the Arizona or the Utah one said that in Cedar City, a guy found a coin in the park, metal detecting.
A Mormon gold coin.
And he sold it, I think, for $8,000 or something like that. And he said it beats the hell out of a rocking chair. So one year, this was 10 years ago, I researched the oldest park in Cedar City, and then I started going out there and metal detecting. And probably about the third year I went out there, I found I think it was a large center sun. It was 18 something on it, which really was a cool coin. It had a hole in it.
Really?
So every year I go out there and metal detect. Last time I got out there, these guys from the park came over and ran me out and said I couldn't be there metal detecting. And I said, well, I'm just making little holes. I cover them back up. You don't even know I'm there. He said, that's not it. The lawnmowers just rip them back out anyway. So I had a buddy that says, Jack, when you go to these parks, just wear one of them safety vests. They'll think you're a worker. So now I wear the safety vest when I go to these parks. But I love Beaver Park or Beaver. Beaver. I like to metal detect Beaver Park, Fillmore Park, and Cedar City Park. I hit those off. I found a cool ring in Fillmore Park one time, But anyway, so I did all these parks.
Yeah, there was a Mormon gold coin found here in one of these parks here in Cedar City, man. Them Mormon gold coins, man, worth like $100,000.
Sure, I'd love to find one of them. I don't think this was a Mormon gold coin, but yeah, I'd love to find one of them. But so anyway, so what was you saying about Cedar City?
Well, I was gonna say, man, when you get here, if you have some time, or give me a call or something. I'll guide you into the shot put, man. It's a pretty cool sight to see.
Is that where you're at in Cedar City?
Well, no, I'm in Parowan right now. I tried to get a motel in Cedar City yesterday, and it was booked up. There wasn't hardly any place to stay there, so I had to come here to Parowan. So.
Well, how long are you going to stay there?
I'm leaving tomorrow night to head home, man. I'm taking the I'm taking the rest of the week off, and all next week off. Get prepared for the Moon Lake Gathering.
Well, when I come through there at Cedar City, then you won't be there then.
No,
but on
I
my
won't.
way
I won't be here.
So yeah, so whenever I have time,
Yeah, I probably will be. I don't know when you're coming back, but I probably will be if I'm back to work by then, and I should be. Get with me, man. I'll show you the shot put man and that man. It's pretty cool. It's a life size carving of a muscle bound man with a cross for a head, and he's holding a ball. I dubbed him the shot put man when I found him. He's holding a ball in his hand like he's getting ready to throw it like the shot put. But later I figured out, man, he's holding his head in his hand.
Wow.
It's made in relief. It's life size, and it's carved down anywhere from an inch to a couple inches deep, leaving him raised. That's pretty cool.
We'll do that. And Beaver, I got to always stop in Beaver City for my tacos. Beaver tacos are awesome.
Oh yeah, Beaver tacos, yeah.
So I got all my stops along the way.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Well, my dad, he lives. He's the only one alive still. He lives in South Jordan.
Yeah.
And then my brothers all lived in Granger, West Valley, but they moved over on the Tooele side now. All of them did. I don't know why, but they did.
Steven still lives up there.
Oh, but yes, he lives in Harriman. Harriman. My other brother does. Yeah. So my dad was telling me the oldest park up there, when you're driving towards where they built a city around it. A city up there, whatever. It's the oldest park. When you see a big sign that says 1800 or something on this old park. So I went in there one time to detect. All I found was pull tabs galore. But anyways, okay. It's because, what's that?
It's because of the wide mouth tooth fire. I don't know
what that is.
I don't know.
I heard Walmart is not letting people camp there anymore. It just depends. I got ran out of a Walmart. Where was I in Walmart that time? Last time?
I don't know, but it just depends on the Walmart. And generally, if you go in and you speak to the store manager, they will let you stay overnight. But if you're in a, don't put your slides out. And,
well, yeah, well, it depends on city ordinances. Some city ordinances won't let you stay. But there's an app you can go to. It's called All Stays. And if you go to that map of All Stays, it'll tell you which Walmart will let you stay there or not. But there are atlases that Walmart puts out, topo map atlases. They'll tell you where all the Walmarts are at.
Really?
So I stay at Walmart.
I see AZ Gold Guy says he's shooting to be there. Man, you should come, AZ Gold Guy, because, man, there'll be a lot of great people there. There'll be a lot of stories told. And like I said, we bring the speakers in to bring everybody else in. But the people that come, that's the real treasure, man. There's a lot of knowledge that comes to this. A lot of knowledge, so.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes. We'll be okay. So anyway, Moon Lake Gathering is what dates?
August 13th through the 15th. 13th is a Thursday. That starts. It doesn't start till 4 p.m. That'll be a meet and greet. We'll have a bluegrass band playing then, and then at 7 o'clock, we'll have the open mic where people can get up and tell their stories or show and tell. So and then it kicks off the full event kicks off Friday morning at 10 a.m. and goes till 9 p.m. And then again Saturday 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Man, it's full days. There's all kinds of things going on, and man, it's a great time, and you meet a lot of great people, a lot of great speakers. You meet a lot of great people. It's
Anything
like
else?
I say, I get inundated, I get overwhelmed with all the work putting it on. But once you get there and you do it, it's well worth it. But the people that you meet, I've met so many great people there. Yeah.
What was I just going? Oh, what about Sunday? Anything happening on Sunday?
Nothing happening Sunday. Just we'll just be cleaning up and breaking down the show and just
Putting stuff away.
Yeah, putting stuffs away and cleaning up. Yeah.
Cool. So you'll take it.
I'm sure there'll be some things going on because there's people that have came there and met and become treasure partners and put on they put their heads together and started working together. There's relationships formed there at the Moon Lake Gathering. There's you just never know who's going to show up, and you just never know what might happen there. So yeah, there's a lot there's a lot of fires going on in Fillmore and Meadow area, man. It's crazy. There's a lot of fires going on all over the place. It's just a dry year, and everybody's flying, or everybody's burning.
So, anybody wants to get a hold of you for any information, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
If you go to terrylcarter.net, I've tried to put together a web page for the Moon Lake Gathering, and it has a thing there where you can ask me questions, email me through that and ask me questions, and I usually try and answer those. Other than that, man, I get so many emails, so many texts, so many, I get inundated with them in my busy schedule. Man, by the time I know them, man, I got 300 emails, 200, and there's no way I can go through back to them, but I'm religiously trying to go through those that come in. So go to terrylcarter.net, and there's a thing that says if you got a question, ask it, and I'm religiously trying to answer them.
And he will eventually get to him. I sent him a question last year about what time to be there, and I got it last week of what time to be there.
That's probably true. You know, it pops up on my truck, you know, that I got like 987 unanswered messages. I haven't even looked at them, you know, and somebody says, "You really got that many? You don't look at it?" And I get so many that I just don't have time to look at it, and I get so far behind. I think, well, I got to start from the top, and then it's just I just don't have time, and I don't have time even to go through and pick and choose which one. So I just don't get to any of them.
Yeah. So you just got to send them about every hour. Just copy and paste.
Yeah, you just keep on sending it, and if I see it a bunch, maybe I'll get to it. Yeah.
So you got to stand out.
I'm not discriminating against anybody. It's everybody.
Yeah. Make sure it's in bold, and so it'll stand out with a bunch of symbols and crosses and all types of stuff. Yeah. terrylcarter.net. Any information. So we're hoping that all you guys are going to make it out there to the Moon Lake Gathering.
Yeah, man. It's going to be a great time. And you'll meet a lot of great people. Jack's going to be there. You meet Jack in person.
Yeah.
In person, Jack.
So everybody that's going to Moon Lake that's in the chat room or anything like that, if you guys are going to Moon Lake, there's one thing that you guys all have to do, because now he's very humble. Terry is a very humble guy. But whenever you guys get to Moon Lake and you go up there and you talk to Terry, the first thing you really got to do is have a pen and pencil and have him give you his autograph.
That's funny.
So everybody's got to do that when you guys get out there to that. Make sure you do that.
Do it in front of my wife, because she already thinks I have a big head.
Well, you know, I wanted to talk to you last year. I couldn't ever talk to you because, you know, I had to stand in this long line just to try to get up to you, and everybody's taking their pictures. "Oh, Terry, do me now, do me now." And I thought, I'll get him later, you know. 2 hours later, I go back, he's still standing in this long line taking pictures.
Well, man, it's, you know, I'm like Ricochet Rabbit there, trying to get everything going and you know, had a problem with the screens, had a problem, you know, just trying to keep everything going, and yeah, it's I don't have a lot of time there, but
No, thank you,
Peterson,
Terry.
I hope you can make it, Wayne. Man, I want everybody to meet you.
Yeah, there's some stories there.
Another brain?
Yeah, but most of them, statute of limitations haven't ran out, so we can't tell a lot of those types of stories. All right, Terry. Somebody said Terry looks tired. He looks like he needs some sleep.
Man, I am. I got up the day before yesterday. I was up till 1 in the morning. I got up at 3 in the morning to drive out to here to work at 7 o'clock at Tuesday morning, and then last night I didn't get to bed till after midnight, and I had to get up at 4 this morning, and I'm sure I'll be up till midnight tonight, man, putting together some stuff for the Moon Lake Gathering. So,
okay, so here's I've got a mission for you. So behind you is a picture on the wall. Yeah, right there. Okay, so what you have to do, here's your mission.
Okay.
Oh, he's laying in bed.
I am. I am
So-
laying in bed.
So what you have to do, draw me a treasure map, hide it behind that picture, and then tell the desk that I'm coming in on Tuesday afternoon, and that's the room I want.
Okay.
And then I'll find that treasure map that you leave me.
Okay.
Jeez.
That's the first time I live out of a motel. My work sends me all over the country, you know, and so this is the first time I've stayed at this motel. I tried to find a decent place, and the prices were so high, man, that in Cedar City that I just came to Parowan. So
Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe that's what I ended up in Paramount. So when I leave there, I'll have to drive straight.
here in Parowan, there's some stories in Parowan when they dug
Great.
up the flagpole here at the city building, replacing or something, man, and they dig in a deep hole, man, and they dug up some old ancient Roman coins.
Wow.
Under the, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have to search around Paramount or stay there on the way back a couple of days. Well, I'm not bringing my camp trailer this year. That's the only bad thing. So I'm kind of limited and just driving, you know. Last year I was in the trailer, the camp trailer. We stayed at Mike's property, so I was there for like 3 weeks last year. So but he kept saying, "Yeah, I'll take you guys out. I'll take you guys out." We did. Anyway, yeah, it was fun. All right, Terry. Hey, we'll let you go get some sleep, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having me on, and hope to see you guys all at the Moon Lake Gathering.
Thank you, Terry.
TerryLCarter.net.
Yes.
Go send him some questions. He loves to answer all you guys' questions.
Moon Lake.
So anyways, all right, Terry, we appreciate it. Robert, appreciate you hanging with us. Robert's going to become our new co-host, so
Cool.
so I can like don't have to ask all the questions, you know. So he's kind of shy right now. He's just trying to learn some stuff.
He's trying to get in the mode.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hey, Jack, man, I'll be looking forward to seeing you again here next week, the week after, next week.
We'll see you on Wednesday or yeah, we'll see you either Wednesday or Thursday, 1 or 2. So I'll be there to set up anyway. So, so put a little poster there for my name on it where I'm going to be then.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well.
Thank you, Terry.
Hey, thank you guys, man. You guys have a great one.
Hey, Terry, thanks, man. We appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Hey, with that said, that's a wrap.
Hey, that's a wrap. Thanks, Terry. We'll see you guys.
A wrap.
All right, everybody. You guys all take care. We're going to hit this song, get out of here. So until our paths cross again, you guys all take care. Have a fantastic day or week. Get out to Moon Lake. Say hi to everybody. Enjoy some fun. Until then, see you guys all. Thanks. Bye, man.
Jack's got a shovel and a dream in his hands, staking claims neath the hot desert sand, chasing the glimmer of gold in the sun. Every hill climbed, it's a battle, but he's won. With friends beside him, he's never alone. Through valleys and mountains, they've made it their home. Treasure comes in the memories we make, in the laughter and stories our friendships create. Gold might be pretty, but it's nothing compared to the joy in the journey, the love that we share. They ride the ATV through the wide open plains, laughing and shouting, forgetting the pains. The wind on their faces, a taste of pure freedom. In the heart of Arizona, they know they'll beat 'em. Life's a wild ride, they shout out so bold. Jack says you never slow down, you never grow. Treasure comes in the memories we make, In the laughter and stories our friendships create. Gold might be pretty, but it's nothing compared. See the joy in the journey, the love that we share. Lots of hills round, they shout out so bold. Jack says you never slow down, you never grow old. Treasure comes in the memories we make. In the laughter and stories our friendships create. Gold might be pretty, but it's nothing compared to the joy in the journey, the love that we share. So here's to the gold in the lives that we hold. Jack's got his friends, and that's worth more than gold.